welcome to my YouTube channel. All right, so in this video, we'll try to look at probability. I received a request from one of my subscribers to do a video on this topic, which is probability. The first thing that we must start with when dealing with probability is to define it. So what should be coming in your mind when you come across the word probability? So this is simply likelihood, likelihood over something. Something happening, okay? So this is how you must be defining probability. Whenever you've been asked to define probability or to say a thing about probability, you say it's the likelihood of something happening. So now, let's say you want to find out something, okay? You want to find out something or to carry an experiment, okay? We call that experiment, okay? Whatever you want to find out, it's an experiment. I want to experiment something. So that thing that you'd like to experiment, we call it trial. Okay? It's a trial. And the outcomes or outcome that you get from the experiment that you're doing, we call it or the results, we call it outcome. So these are some of the things that you must be aware of. Okay. Now, at times, maybe let me just give an example. Maybe you've got students in your class. You're a teacher. You've got students, maybe 30 girls. Okay, 30 girls, and maybe 10 boys. Okay, so now, when you've been asked maybe to find the probability of picking a boy, okay, so that probability you found, we call it an event, okay, we call it an event. This is an event, okay, and these are the few things that you must be aware or know, okay, when it comes to probability, okay. Okay, so the other thing that you must put into consideration is the formula, okay? So the formula for finding probability, so we say probability, okay? Let's say an event there is A, or finding an event A will be equal to total, or let me just say, or possible outcomes over total outcomes. Okay, so like what I just talked about, if you have let's say 4 girls, okay, you've got 4 girls there and 2 boys, okay. I want to explain on how this formula works. And they ask you to find the probability of picking a boy. So what do you do here? You use this same formula. You say probability of picking a boy, okay, this is the event that we're talking about, is equal to all possible outcomes, okay? So all possible outcomes of picking a boy are, or outcomes are here, 2. There are 2 of them, okay? Over total outcomes. So total outcomes will be 4 plus 2, which is equal to 6. So now the probability of picking a boy will be equal to 1 over 3, which is right here. I've just reduced 2 into 2 is 1, into 6 is 3. So this is how you work it out. All right. So let's do some other examples so that we understand how it works. Actually, before we go to other examples, keep this point in your mind. It's also very important. Your solution or answer, okay? The solution or answer, let me just say solution. Your solution or your answer must be from 0 to 1, okay? So from 0 to 1. For example, you saw the 1 over 3 I found. This is 0 point something something. It's just between 0 and 1. So you can find your answer to be equal to 0 or a 1 or numbers in between here. If you find your answer, let's say they have asked you to find the probability and you find the answer less than 0, less than 0 or greater than 1, it means your answers are wrong. You must keep this point in your head. It's very important. So now let's go to the examples I've talked about. In a family of 2 sons and a daughter, the parent wishes to sponsor only one of the children. What is the probability of sponsoring a boy? So how do we answer this one? So we first need to collect data. So we collect our data. Okay, so this is the data we are collecting right here. So we say girls, how many girls are there? Boys, how many boys are there? So for girls, how many girls do we have? How many boys do we have? So we have 2 sons. Okay, so boys there, we know that it's 2. Okay, and then daughters, it's 1 because they said a daughter. Okay, a daughter, 2 sons. Okay, so that's how we collect data. Once we get that data, we now get the formula. We now get the formula for finding probability. Remember, we said the formula is equal to probability of an event happening is equal to possible, okay, let me just say or possible outcomes, okay, outcomes over total outcomes. All right, so this is very important. The formula is very important. So we'll say probability of picking a boy, okay, this is B, a boy, will be equal to all possible outcomes. So all possible outcomes, these are outcomes which are favoring the boy. So what outcomes or what are the outcomes that are favoring the boys? It's just a 2. So we write a 2 over all, okay, or total outcomes, all the outcomes, okay, that are involved right here. So it's 3. So how do we find all the total outcomes? Actually, it's outcomes. How do we find the total outcomes? We just add this plus this. So this is how we find the probability. Okay, and it's the answer for this, for example, number 1. Okay, so now there is something that is very important I would like to talk about here. I'll give this probability. Let me now try to just find, okay? I want to prove something. Let me find the probability of picking a girl, okay? How many girls do we have? It's 1 over, or how many do we have? All the together boys, sons and daughters is 3. So it's 1 over 3, okay? This is the probability of picking a girl. So now there is a point. Remember, I said your answer must be from 0 to 1. Okay, so this is between 0 and 1. This is also between 0 and 1. And also, there is a point which says when you get the probability of picking these two sons plus the probability of picking these two girls, you must be getting a 1. Okay, know this, keep it in your head. It will help you to prove whatever you're working with, if it's okay. So now let's try to add this probability plus this probability and see if it will give us a 1. So say probability, let me do this. Probability of picking a girl plus probability of picking a boy must give us a 1. So we'll add them. So we'll say 1 over 3 plus 2 over 3, which is equal to 1. It works. So this is how it goes. So you have proven that this is correct and this is also correct. Let's try to check another example. All right, so example number 2, we've been given the probability of getting a black button from a box, which is right here. Okay, find the probability of getting a button which is not black. So now, if you compare the previous example and this one, you see that I talked about putting up two probabilities and you get a 1. Let's say you've got event 1, okay? So, or event A plus probability of event B. This must give you 1. If you've got two, you've got A and B, okay? So now the probability of picking A plus the probability of picking B, you must be getting what? A 1. So this is the idea that we're going to use. So we'll say probability of getting, so I'll just write a word G, plus probability of not getting must give you a 1. This is a concept that we must use. So what probability have we been given here? This is the probability of getting, okay? So the probability of getting is 2 over 9 plus, what are we looking for? The probability of not getting. So we can just say x, we don't know it. So we just say denote it by letter x is equal to 1. So now to solve, we'll just group the like terms. All right, so our next move here will just be to solve for x, of which it will just be 7 over 9. Okay, so this will be our solution. All right, we can talk about a tree diagram, because it's also very important. You need to know a tree diagram. Okay, so this is I think the last part or the last example, and the last example will be on a tree diagram. Okay, so now to understand how a tree diagram is done, these are the basic things that you must know. So let me just say tree diagram, okay? Tree diagram. This is very, very important, okay? So let's say you've got 3 black pens and 2 red pens. Okay, we also have maybe 1, or let me just say 4 white, pens. So you've been given these colors of pens, and maybe they say draw a tree diagram, okay, showing the possibilities or probabilities of a person picking a red pen, and again he comes also pick or comes and pick the black pen, okay, without a replacement. So to show just a tree diagram, we do this, okay. We'll say, how many things am I dealing with? There are three things. We've got black, red, and white. So you need to show three things. So this will be our black, this one our red, and our white here, okay. So now it depends if there are two rounds. I'll say two rounds. So this is the first round. So the next round will look like this, okay. You see the way it looks? Just like that, okay. So this is the next round. So this will be black, red, white, black, red, and white, black, red, and white, okay. So what you did here when starting, you started with three things or three tails, okay. So now at each end or at each event, right, like here, you must have three tails. Here, three tails. Here, three tails. So these must be repeated here, here, and here, okay. So that's how it's done. So now, on how to put the numbers here, the values, how do you put the values? You just say, whatever numbers you've been given, you add them. So it will be 3 plus 2 plus 4. What are we getting? It's a 9, okay? Because this is 5 plus 4, it's a 9. So the total is 9. So since they, depending with the condition that you've been given, in this case, maybe in most questions, they'll say without replacement, picking without replacement. So you just write the total here, the total here, the total here, okay? So we must find a number to put on top, okay? So what number are we supposed to put here? Since it's black, we go to black and get the number that is on black. It's 3. Here it's a 2. Here it's a 4. Okay, so you see what we've done? From there, we now go to the next round. So for the next round, since there is no replacement, you are going to reduce the numbers that are below. So this is 9. So we have 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, yeah? 8. At each tail, we have 8, 8, 8. Okay? You see what I've done? So now, what are we supposed to put on top? This is where we need to be very careful, or this is where it becomes very complicated if you're not careful. So here, we'll say black has been picked. What is the probability of picking black again? Since black, how many blacks did we have? We had 3. And 1 black has been picked, meaning the blacks have reduced. So we have 2 blacks. Okay? So black here will be 2 because it has reduced. What about red? If we picked black, what about red? Red has not been reduced because here we picked black. So we just go to red, pick the number that is there. So put a 2. For white, we pick a 4. Okay? Because we picked a red here. In other ways, you say you reduce the numbers, the denominators here, because here it was 9. That's step number 1. Step number 2, you check the letter which is here. If it is black, meaning on black, the black which is here, the number on top must change. Okay, so it has changed. The number on top, it has changed from 3 to 1. It has been reduced to 1. These others, don't change them. Okay, we come to the next one. You see the number which is here, like I said, meaning R here, the number will change. So how many R's or reds do we have? It's 1. So here it was 2, it will change, we have a 1. You see the way it is. These others will maintain. We have a 3 here and a 4 right here on top. Okay, so now here we check W must reduce. So we have a 3 on W because here it was 4, W, so it will change. Here we maintain. B will be what? Will be 3. Okay, oh, this is red. This is for red. It will be 2 and B red. Okay, so now we're almost there. So now, what are you supposed to do next? You can now find the probabilities. Okay, this side, you can put them like this. If you want, you leave it like this and put your probabilities maybe somewhere here. But I like encouraging people putting their probabilities behind here. So you write it like this. Look at what I'm doing. I want to find the probabilities. So I'll say probability of picking black, 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 again black. What is the probability now? So now here we start multiplying this number times this number. What are we getting? Let me punch on my calculator. I can try 3 over 9, okay, times 2 over 8. I'm getting 1 over 12. So here I have 1 over 12. Okay, we're done with that one. We go to the next one. Probability of picking black. Again, the second round I pick red. What is it? So say this number right here, this one, times this number for red, this one here. So it will be 3 over 9 times 4 over 8. What am I getting? I'm getting 1 over 6. Okay, if you want your answer can be in decimal, it's okay. Whichever. So here next will be black and white. Black and white. What is the probability? Meaning this times this value. So 3 over 9 times 4 over 8. I'm getting a 1 over 6. Okay. Is this okay? Let me count. Let me do it again. 3 over 9 times. Okay, here I think there is a mistake here. I was supposed to get 1 over 12. If I say this times this right here for red, it will be 1 over 12. We go to the next one, RB. Okay, so R is right here, 12 over 9. B is 3 over 8. So it will be 12 over 9 times 3 over 8. Okay, we're getting a 12 over 1 over 12. We now go to red, this red, again, this red right here. So we multiply 9 over, 2 over 9 times 1 over 8. I'm getting 1 over 36. I guess you're also getting the same answers. So you need to calculate all of them. Here it's R, W. When you multiply, what are we getting? So yeah, this is what you basically need to get. So I've put the answers. This is 1 over 6, 1 over 9, 1 over 6. So you may be asked that what is the probability of picking black? Okay, first round you pick black, second round you pick black. So the probability of picking this, you just come this side. Where is black, black? BB, it's right here. See, 1 over 12. So this is what you do. So now, in order for you to know, this is very important. It will help you understand if you have done the right thing. So now you can add this plus 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 this and this. Your answer must be a 1. If you don't get a 1, meaning something is wrong somewhere here. So this is what is all about tree diagram. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like my video, and also comment. And if you'd like to join my online tuitions, the number to use is right here. So you can contact me on WhatsApp.